Okay, so now comes the part where we say goodbye to my Cooler Master Elite 430, I think this is, which has been a cracking little case, to be honest. It's not the best case in the world, however, it was extremely affordable when I bought it, and it's done me proud. So, let's take this fella to pieces.
Looking to the stars, waiting for a sign that the day will come when someone will be mine. And there I go again, I'm holding on to hope. And if the world is gone, how will I ever know?
Okay, farewell Cooler Master. So I'm just doing the prep work on the case at the moment. I'm just undoing all the existing cable ties and stuff just so I can get a clean start. And something that I've just spotted, which is a little bit concerning, is that is the exit hole from the power supply enclosure. So we've got to put the power supply in from the front, and then that is the hole we've got to put that through. And then all of these we need to route around like that. So points to the S340 for that bit, because the 400c, that's not fantastic. I'm hoping that's not going to turn into much of an issue. However, it does have this nice Ssd mounting plate back here, which kind of looks funky. I'm hoping that's going to work nicely. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so with those thumb screws removed from the back, these fellas will all just slide out now. Whoop.
Can the constellations walk on Saturn's rings? Can I find someone to listen as I
So this would be an excellent point to delve into the fittings bag that has come with the case and see what we've got. We have got the indefinite article A standoff. We've got a couple of zip ties, which are nice. We've got some fine thread screws. Those look like those are for designed for SSDs. They'll also fit DVD drives, although there's no DVD drive slots on this. So we've got some fine thread screws for general drives. We've got some very long coarse threads here. Those will be for fan fittings. Those will also fit most water cooling kits. Coarse thread screws, this is what I want for my motherboard. And a big selection of self-tapping fan screws as well. So if you've got a selection of fans, you can put some nice shiny new screws in them. Of course, this case does have a lot of fan points on it as well. We've got the 120 at the back. We've also got a 140 that comes at the front. That's an airflow fan, so that's a really good just intake blower. We've also got room for another 2 fans down the front. And we've got the triple 120s along the top here. This is one of those times where I wish I'd gotten a modular power supply for this thing. That is definitely on the bucket list of upgrades for this computer. I wonder how much room I'll have behind there actually. These cables here I don't actually need connected in this computer, which is why they're previously already bundled. So I'm just going to mount this and line it up, and I'm just going to see how much space I've got behind the power supply to bury the unused cables. Oh, I stand corrected, we do have a hole at the top there, so we can bring some cables straight out the top if we need to. And we've got about that much space there, so I can bundle those cables and just cram them into the back there. We don't need any airflow behind the power supply because there's no vents there. It's all coming up through the bottom and out the back. So I can just shamelessly push all this in there. Oh, that's going to be tight though. I think we're going to put the hard drive cage back in just so I can see how much room I have. Oh, quite a lot is the answer to that. In fact, good job Corsair, because I've just noticed that this is actually adjustable. There are two sets of mounting holes on this drive cage, so I can actually move it a couple of inches in either direction. So that will give me either more space for my power supply, yay, or it will give me more space at the front for a water cooling rad that goes all the way down to the bottom. So very intelligent design there, that is really good work. I was very worried that my power supply literally wasn't going to fit then. Although even with that extra space, a modular power supply is, I would wager a modular power supply is a must-have for this case. I'm going to need a lot of work to cram that in there. Woo lad, it'll go in, but only just. Pro tip, don't try and use a non-modular power supply in this case. Ugh. This motherboard might have the worst placement for its fan connectors ever. What am I supposed to do with that? Right, okay, I've got a little bit too much crammed into this enclosure here, so I'm just going to have to very delicately wrangle everything into place. Let's put this on and then thread those cables through. And something is blocking that. There we go, that's what it's supposed to do. There we go. Right, now can that adjust all the way out to the end? No, it can't, but that's not the end of the world. A little bit further on the travel on the lower rails for this, and that would almost line up with that back hole. That seems like it's not quite there, but still, I can deal with that little bit of overhang. I'm not worried about that. So, let's poke my SATA cables back through and come out of this hole here. There we go, those are in place. Look at that. Non-modular power supply, whole thing's hidden. This is good. Right, now while the NZXT S340 might be lagging behind on the removable cowl front, however, it does have the big, huge cable voids at the back, which this one doesn't have. So yeah, as you can see, I've actually got plating all around here. That hole's no good because that's where my hard drive's going to go. So I actually need to do a little bit of tinkering around to see what I'm going to do about this. I'm actually really tempted. Let's have a look at this SSD mount. So how does this work? I see springs at the bottom of this. I think these things are spring-loaded. Not bad. That's a kind of cute design. It's that's a great idea, but not really useful. However, to be honest, in my opinion, they should have taken out this end one and had just a dual mount. Because then, with this gone, I'd have all of this space to cable tie the wires back. I'm actually deliberating. I'm actually going to put my SSD down in the hard drive bay because This is a really cool idea, but it's so in the way it's untrue. This is exactly where I want to fold all my cables. So I'm going to take this out. As with everything in this case, it's just held in with thumb screws. So I just loosen those off because they're tight from the factory. So we can just take this out. Wow, like that. So just in case you didn't see what was going on with this mounting system, we've got that bends back and you push your SSD in onto that spring. And then it just sits in the top like that, and that's held in place. And if we pull that back, the spring will just sort of try to eject it. So it's a neat idea. I like what they're trying to do with that. Right, while we're here, let's take a quick look at this front panel and just see how easy this is to remove, because there's a dust filter behind this and I'm going to need to change that dust filter regularly. So how does this come off? Okay, we've got some tabs on the inside, so I'm going to push those away. And on the other side, same deal. Oh, those bottom ones are tricky to get to because of this angle here. Oh, ow. Ooh, there we go. Right, cool, that's heavy. That is metal fronted. I thought it was plastic. Okay, right, now on the front here, let's see, down, and there's our dust filter. So this front panel is kind of awkward to remove. It would be nice if that had, like, if it was latched on one side, so then I wouldn't have to take the other side off. At the moment, you've got to take both side panels off to remove this front panel, which isn't ideal, but then you've only got to take it apart, you know, like every 6 months or something like that anyway, unless you live in a really dusty place. So there we go. Let's put that back in. This is magnetically latching with a couple of tabs at the top and bottom. And now that should just push back onto the front. There we go. Pow. Gorgeous. I love it. I love this case. Okay, so closing thoughts. The front and the internals, they're brilliant. This bottom design with the removable cowls, it's great being able to remove those. However, access around the back side of the case is not fantastic. That's definitely an area where I think the S340, NZXT's competitor to this, does kind of win out. Because at the back of the case, I had a lot of trouble burying the excess cables. There was a decent amount of space there though, so it can be done. And on account that the front is what you see all the time, I'm willing to make that sacrifice. The way that all of this can move around and is adjustable to fit different fan and radiator configurations at the front, that's really good. I love that adjustability. That is what really makes it, because many times I've seen computer builds where people have run into trouble or they've had to start bodging because they can't quite fit something in the configuration that they wanted. So yeah, then the rest of the build was just a dream, to be honest. Everything just dropped in, it was lovely. And despite not having the S340's cable dump area here, which would normally hide these cables, I have still managed to end up with a fairly tidy amount here. I could try bunching those up, however, just those 3 cables coming across there, I'm willing to live with that. So yeah, if I had a slightly longer motherboard, which most motherboards would be, we would have a lot less cable run at this area. Those would just go straight into those voids. So yeah, that's more than forgivable. This lovely swinging front door is just beautiful. I love it. You know, just putting that on and looking at the preview on my recording laptop here, I'm in love with the look of it. It's fantastic. So yeah, I've just got this beautiful case. I desperately need some water cooling in there. So yeah, and possibly some lights and a million other expensive things that I want to get for it. So yes, on the topic of expenses, price-wise, I think this case is fantastic value for money, to be honest. I paid about £75 for it. The US prices will probably be fairly similar, the cheaper equivalent because UK tax. The S340 is cheaper. It's cheaper by a good sort of £15 to £20. However, I think the extra £20 is worth every penny with this case. Now, if you're really working on a budget for your computer build, the way that you save money is by shaving like £5 off every single component, which will add up to a significant drop off of the total price. And so if you're really building on a budget, the S340 is going to help you save money, and it's still a beautiful case, and I still like the S340. It was really close call between which I was going to buy. However, I'm very glad I paid the extra for this case because I don't have the cost of the entire build in front of me right now. I'm just doing this as an upgrade. So if you're upgrading your case, definitely I would take the 400c over the S340 any day of the week. So thank you very much for watching, you guys. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye for now.